Alright, starting off you'll want to set your stroke point to 5 points and round the caps and corners. Then make a straight line and make a line that will be the start of your mountain and will reflect it 90 degrees over. You can just right click, go to range and create a copy. Then you want to make a straight line down and do a kind of zigzag just to show like a ridge depth on the mountain. Here is kind of an awkward thing for most people. You want to create a line at the top and then copy that line down to the bottom, and then go to Object, Blend, and Make a ton of lines. Then you want to go back to Object, Blend Options, and make that a number that's evenly spaced. After you do that, you'll want to go back to Object and Expand, so that you'll get all of these lines correct. As you can see, zooming in, I mess up right here with what I wanted to do. So what you actually want to do, see right here, is use your direct selection tool to select the first 3 points of each of these paths, and then just drag while first click down and then hold shift and drag it over to the line to extend these shadow lines. And go ahead and do that for each one. If you can find a faster way to do this, by all means go on ahead. After that, you'll want to select everything and make sure it's all expanded. So you can select everything, go to Object, Expand, and then you want to right click and group. After that you will copy your mountain over and let it slightly overlap your big mountain, and then make your new one slightly smaller. You'll then use the scissors tool to select the path that is overlapping your big mountain and delete it to make it look like the smaller mountain is behind the big mountain. You want to do this for the other side. Just make another copy of your main mountain, shrink it down, and put it behind. For these lines, you can do the same thing you did to extend them in the big mountain, but just make them shorter. After this, you'll want to make a circle with a 5-point stroke and 0% fill, or no fill. Make a relatively, it doesn't really matter what size you make your circle at the moment. It'll be shrunken down. And then you want to just hold Alt to copy your circle into the formation shown. And then you want to select all of your circles and choose the Shape Builder tool and select all of the lines inside. You can just kind of draw a little circular line path and it'll connect those all together. Afterwards, you will want to create a line that just goes directly down from the main tree bit, which will be your tree trunk. Then position that next to one of your small mountains. It can be either side. You'll mirror it over as it is now. You want to take that tree, copy it, shrink it, adjust the trunk size, and then mirror it on both sides. For this, you want to create a circle that's the same size as your main line, and then you use your direct selection tool to select the very bottom point and delete it. That will create a half circle, which you can then place down over the entire landscape. You'll need to shrink down your trees if they're having some collision issues, but that's real easy. You just select both trees and scale down. Then do the same half circle thing to make a sun behind the mountains, and then use your scissors tool to shorten any edges that might be overlapping too much. I'd also like to point out, don't be afraid to make mistakes during any kind of logo design process. As you can see, I make several in this video, but it's okay. Mistakes are just part of the process. Alright, this is a bit of a confusing bit. You want to make one line and then copy it over. Go to Blend, Make, and go to Blend Options. Set your blend options to, I prefer a odd number, just because it spaces well. And you will want to create another half circle, same way you did before. Select your lines and your half circle at the same time with the selection tool, and go to Object, Blend, it's like Blend Spine, or Blend Along Spine, and you'll get a weird arc. Go to Blend Options, and then switch from, you'll have two options, one that kind of looks like a weird fence, and then one that looks more like an arc. Change to that arc. You'll get a array of lines. After that, you want to position it so it fits within your circle, your half circle, and you'll want to turn the path. You want to expand the path, so you'll have a path of arcs. Go to Object, Expand, and it'll turn it into shapes that you can edit. Then just remove all the extra overlapping line segments with the scissors tool, as such. I apologize for this video being faster than the voiceover, just to keep time down. Then you can create a line under your half circle. That's optional. It's just an aesthetic kind of look. I decided to name, this was originally going to be named Pack and Trail, but I decided to name this specific one Sunrise Mountain, because it is a sunrise behind mountains. Just look for a good font. For this particular one, I'd say go for a unserifed font, or sans serif font. That means it does not have like the little marks on the ends of letters. You'll have to look in the video to see what font I used. I don't quite remember. But a very crisp lined font to match your line art. Another good font I would recommend using is Babus or Babus New. And then you just want to size your text to be about the same width, and that'll be your